the only cooking show that teaches you how to bring the far-flung flavors of Guild Wars straight into your home kitchen. I am Chef Jennifer Hale. Hosting a party isn't always about food in bulk. Sometimes a bit of class is required. Sometimes you need to flex your culinary muscles and attempt a meal fit for royalty. Today, on A Taste of Tyria, I am going to teach you how to prepare such a meal for your very own Sylvari garden party. From refreshing libation to seasonal dessert, this is going to be one garden party pulled straight from a dream. Let's check out today's menu. For sides, we have divinity stuffed mushrooms and an Eshcolonian salad, which will pair beautifully with our main course, steamed cactus. And while your guests bow, hobnob, and laugh politely, they'll keep cool with my favorite homemade liquid libation, Amnon berry spritzer. All leading up to the classiest of classy desserts, spicy chocolate cookies. If you've never made them before, the divinity stuffed mushrooms can be a bit of a doozy, so let's start there. Here's everything you're gonna need. 12 whole fresh mushrooms, vegetable oil, minced garlic, 8 ounces of cream cheese softened, 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan, 1/4 teaspoon ground black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon onion powder, and 1/4 teaspoon ground cayenne pepper. Mincing your garlic and grating your Parmesan may take some prep time, so preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit before you start. After you have everything you need, start with the mushrooms. Now, as long as they're big enough to be appetizer size, the exact varietal is up to you. I harvested these particular babies from the Bone Rattler Caverns using my dark steel harvesting sickle. The damp darkness helps the mushrooms grow like fungus. Unfortunately for fun Gus here, we're going to tear off his legs. Same goes for all of his friends. Don't worry, Gus. It's not half as bad as being cooked alive. That's coming. All right, set all the stems aside, except for the ones that are particularly tough. Then we will chop them up. All right, pretty fine, like you want it really, 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 really tiny. Really, 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 really tiny. All right, then using the vegetable oil, we're gonna saute them in this pan with the minced garlic over medium heat. All right. I like a flat spoon. I find it's easier to mess around with. You really want the stems to cook well and soak up all that oil and the flavor from the garlic. You want, just keep stirring it regularly so the garlic itself doesn't overcook, but you get good flavor through everything. Yep. As it all starts to wilt, come together, you're going to set it aside to cool. And make sure you turn the oven off, the stove. Okay. Now, while we wait, let's throw together a picture of that Amnon berry spritzer. There's no law in Tyria that says we can't be refreshed while we cook. All right, now the key to any good drink is the proper balance of ingredients. It's like forming a good questing party. You can have anyone you want in it, as long as the balance is right. That way you can make as much or as little as you like, and it'll always be just as delicious. The drink, I mean. For my famous Tyria Amnon berry spritzer, you're gonna want 2 cups chilled Amnon berry juice, 1 cup chilled white wine, 1/2 cup chilled club soda. Now I am making what I like to call a chef's portion. So we have 2 parts of this to 1 part of this guy, or 12, depending on how you're feeling, to what works out to be a 1/2 part. Hi, friend. That was refreshing. A 1/2 part of this one. Now, if you don't have Amnon berry juice handy, well, you're missing out. But cranberry or cran-apple juice will do nicely in its stead. I put the ice in first, but not too much because it'll water down the drink as it melts. Now, if you find that happening, you can always add more of the juice to bring back the flavor, add more of the mix of the 3 of them. Now, for the white wine, I like something a little on the dry side, since our Amnons provide sort of the sweetness of the whole thing, but any varietal will do. Sweetness is also a matter of preference, which is why I don't date char as a general rule. Now, for an extra fancy flair, drop in a few Amnon berries. That's an actual Amnon berry. Well, excuse me, I'm having a moment. All right, our sauteed stems, oh, that's hard to carry, should be cool by now. So let us get moving back to the mushrooms. All right, so we're gonna take the mushroom and garlic saute. All right, you're gonna wanna stir in the softened, it is soft, look at that, soft. Softened cream cheese. All right, I sort of mix these up in the pan because I got a little more room that way. All right, so you're gonna smash, plus it smashes better. It's just a big surface area for going smash, my team's killing your team. Team cream cheese, you're taking on team mushroom and you're gonna win. I'm gonna eat. Sorry. Okay, anyway, you're gonna saute in the cream cheese. The Parmesan cheese goes in there as well. All right, so we're gonna start with a little bit of the black pepper. All right, okay, get that, and I do the little level teaspoonies right there. Okay, and you don't have to make sound effects, but I will tell you that your food will taste better if you do. Okay, onion powder, same. See, the food absorbs it better if you make sound effects. And then you got your cayenne pepper. Hello, cayenne. And this one I just kind of bink. I didn't realize, but everything has a sound. Just figured that out today. All right, so we mix these guys all together, okay, until they really are well combined, because you don't want to be the one who gets that bite that's all the cayenne pepper. Would that be fun? No, that would kind of hurt. Okay, although, if there's someone coming to join you at your garden party who's recently pissed you off, you could give them the cayenne pepper bite. I suppose that's possible. That's just the spritzer talking, really. All right, now, you want to take your little mushroom caps. Don't wear them on your head, okay? Take this stuffing, the divinity mushroom stuffing. Take a little spoonful of it right here. All right. Ooh, artisanal tip. If you're feeling adventurous, and when aren't you? I mean, come on. Or particularly omnivorous, fry up a couple pieces of bacon, extra crispy, pat it dry, and then crumble it onto the stuffing. I'm drooling seriously thinking about it. If there's one way to turn a civilized garden party into an unruly brawl, it's bacon. Don't worry, guys and gals, we've made enough for everybody. Oh, another artisan tip. You don't have to, but just before stuffing the mushroom caps, you can brush them with butter. It helps to prevent them from drying out in the oven and makes them extra decadent. All right, so you want to fill these guys up. I'm going to fill them up with the stuffing. We have, I think we've got 8 set out here. And you want to really push it down so it gets all the way into the caverns and make the most of it. All right, it doesn't have to be completely neat around the top. Those bits will brown as you go. All right, got these guys here. Help me! I'm lost in the mushroom. It's very dark in here. Frank, are you out there? Yes, I am. It's all good. Yeah, I talk to my food while I'm cooking. Little known fact. Oh, tell me you don't. All right, so we're gonna get all these guys stuffed. Okay. And a little stuff-a-doo. Now that's a little much for him. All right, get that bad boy stuffed there. And here's our last one. All right, everybody is good to go. Spread them out evenly on your little pan. Now, you can either spray your baking sheet so that they don't stick to it, or you can put tin foil on it. I go with the tin foil option. The oven is surely heated up by now. If not, have a friendly elementalist cast Drake's breath in the general direction of the baking sheet. And duck! Set the timer for 20 minutes and pop them in. Oh yeah. Now, if it's the day of your party, you can prepare the divinity stuffed mushrooms in advance, but I would not cook them till about 25 minutes before you're ready to serve. They're best straight out of the oven. Whew, okay, cranberry spritzer break. Cheers. That was quite a warm-up, even without an elementalist burning the house down. Let's move on to something a little easier, the Eshcolonian salad. Easier provided you roasted the beets last night. What you want to do with this is you want to cut the tops off, okay, the fuzzy tops, wrap it up in aluminum foil, and roast it at 400 degrees for about an hour. It should do it. Okay, so when you're ready to make the salad, you want to take your roasted, very easily peeled beet and cut it. I do ribbony bits today. You can do cubey cubes. It doesn't matter the shape. You can cut it into the shape of your favorite dragon, you know, whatever you prefer. Now this salad is extremely simple. It's just beets and lettuce. You'll have to grow the lettuce yourself, but you know, don't be afraid to grow too much. With some venom sacs and other odds and ends, lettuce is actually a key ingredient in a number of nightmare court slaying potions. So it is a simple salad, yes, but don't let that fool you. The key here is in the dressing. Let's make that first. And let's make a bunch. We can always use it later. The key to dressing, just like spritzer, is maintaining the right proportions, no matter how much you're making. All right, remember, shake the dressing before you pour. The oil and vinegar will separate faster than a cumin and char after a drunken shotgun wedding. Now, for the famed Eshcolonian dressing, you need 3 parts olive oil. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 2783. Great. Okay. 1 part red wine vinegar. What was that? 1, 2, 24, 35? Something like that. Pinch of salt. That's not enough. I like 2 pinches of salt myself. A touch of black pepper. Just, ooh, that could have gone really badly. A pinch of black pepper. A pinch of, let's see if I can get the order right, oregano. Yes, there's our oregano. I just do like a shakety shake. That looks like a pinch. Oregano, basil, oh good, basil. Oh, it smells so good. Parsley, pinch again, and thyme. Bonus points if you can sing the song. All right. Now, we're going to take that, and since if we shook this, it would be kind of a disaster, we get our little whiskey friend. Wait, that sounded bad, whiskey friend. Actually, it sounded pretty good. So I'm going to vigorously stir to get it all mixed up. All right. Now, you should also wait to dress your salad until you're ready to serve. Let us avoid soggy lettuce. Sorry. Do I dare? A 3rd artisanal tip in the same episode? Simplicity's great and all, but as long as your Sylvari guests aren't vegan, a little goat cheese and a beet salad never hurt anyone. Word of caution, beets will turn your pea and other stuff red, so don't freak out the next time you go to the loo. Unless, of course, you've been punched in the kidney by a Norn recently. Then you might want to see a healer. All right, let's get this all together so you can see the final beauty. Beets going on top. And it does taste better if you lift them in the air and sing while you do it. And with the goat cheese, just get your hands on in here and crumble, 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 crumble. If you let the dressing sit on the goat cheese for about 15 minutes or so, it'll start to melt it. Then the goat cheese just coats everything and it's so good. Okay, sides are complete. It is time for the main event. Sauteed cactus? Yes, it's true. This rare Tyrian dish is, wait for it, legendary. But not this kind of cactus. What you want are nopales, or prickly pear cactus paddles, see? Preferably with the needles already removed. Ow. I got these fine looking nopales from a prickly pear on dry top, but you may find them in the silver wastes as well, or, you know, the grocery store. The easiest way to prepare cactus is to saute it. It'll get the cactus nice and soft and ready to eat, kind of like an artichoke. You could grill them instead, but today we are keeping it in the kitchen. In a little while, after sauteing and the skin starts to feel tender and soft, with a fork, this is my testing tool, it's ready to go. All right, let's check our oil. See how we're going. Oh, I smell it. I can smell it. It's time. I can smell the oil. Saute these bad boys. Kind of turn it down a little bit. Medium low. That's where I've got this. I'm gonna chill out and watch this baby cook. All right. Now, cactus tastes best with just a dash of seed of sorrow's salt and a squeeze of lemon juice. Now, in some MasterChef circles, the secret is just a dash of cinnamon. But you did not hear that from me. All right, imagine it amongst your topiaries and sparkling water fountains, sipping Amnon berry spritzers with high Tyrian society, getting stuffed on stuffed mushrooms, refreshing beet salad, and a desert delicacy. You'll be the talk of Dreamer's Terrace. But why stop there? No Sylvari garden party would be complete without several dozen spicy chocolate cookies. Now, baking, though related to cooking, is more science than art. Accuracy and balance are key, but fear not. I am a grand master artificer. To make and bake the cookies everyone will be talking about, here's what you'll need. You're going to want to write this down. 1 stick of unsalted butter, 4 ounces of unsweetened baking chocolate chopped up, 1 cup of light brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 large eggs, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Holy Jormag, that is a lot of stuff. While you're gathering it up, might as well go ahead and preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. In a double boiler, melt the butter and chocolate together. Don't worry, your grandmother knows what a double boiler is, and you probably need to call her anyway, or use a microwave, 25-second increments at a time. While we wait for that to cool, beat together the brown sugar, yes, the granulated sugar, the vanilla extract, love the smell of vanilla. Oh, good stuff. Beep. Beep. And the eggs. Okay. And you want to get that mixed really well together until it is thoroughly combined. So, smash up your eggs. All right, you want to keep hammering that. Oh, yes. We're making a fine goo here. Beaten to a pulp, I'd say. All right. Now, you want to add the cooled chocolate, all nice and cooled, to the egg mixture. Oh, don't miss any chocolate. If it wasn't really bad form, I'd just lick this whole thing. All right. And then you want to mix that together. All right, until it's all combined in one consistency again. All right. Next up, I'm going to take a separate bowl, because you always mix your dry stuff separate from your wet stuff, because this is, after all, science. All right, you want to sift together your flour. So we'll pop the flour in here. Poof. All right, you want to put in, let's see, cocoa powder. We'll do that next. Then we'll do the baking powder, or baking soda, I should say. And the salt. All right. And the cinnamon. And we must not forget our secret ingredients. Chili powder. Oh, that could have been really bad. Probably better to use a spoon for this one. Oh, that's gonna be good. And last but not least, the cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper is a really nice callback to the stuffed mushrooms that we had earlier at the beginning of the meal. And you take this little guy, which is kind of an awesome old contraption, and you run it through the sifter like this, and it all comes out the bottom. Okay. Now, you want to combine your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients a little bit at a time until just barely combined. All right, so combine. I do either a third and a third or a half and a half. Mix this together just enough. If you mix it too much, it's going to come out really tough. Blech. All right, that's just enough. We'll do the last half. Pew. All right, get that all mixed in. Once again, just till all the wet, dry stuff looks like the rest of the batter. That's it. Oh. Then you take the bowl and you sit in the corner and you just eat it. I'm kidding. Now you take the chocolate chips. More chocolate. Mix a little bit more and batter is done. All right, let's get these bad boys on a sheet and into the oven. You want to take a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. All right. Then you're going to take the batter and you're going to scoop it out about a tablespoon and a half at a time onto the parchment sheet, and you want to drop it about 1.5 inches apart. Oops. Except for the parts you spill, and those you're going to eat. All right. So we'll fill this up with this. Just going to do this. Put this baby over here. It works well from either side. I'm just right-handed. This guy here. Oh, so good. Keep them really small so they blend in well. Now, as the cook, you're absolutely allowed to put one in the pan and one in your mouth. One for you and one for me. All right. We're going to take this, bake it for about 14 minutes, but I'm actually going to set the timer for 7 minutes so that I can rotate them halfway through. This is the timer I use for everything. All right, once they're done, take them out. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, and slide the cookies onto a cooling rack. I highly recommend a mitt for this. All right, and like so. This is always the tricky part. Oh. If one happens to get smashed in the removing from the parchment paper to the cooling rack, it behooves you to sacrifice yourself and just eat it so no one has to look at that deformed cookie. Oh yeah. It's a little known fact that consumption of chocolate during cooking makes for a much better meal. Chocolate and spritzers. Oh, so good. You could make these the night before and enjoy a bit more of your guests, but what's better? Amnon berry-fueled conversation or warm cookies? Yeah, that was rhetorical. Oh man, it is really hard to keep it classy with all this good food around. That's it! You've done it! Your very own Sylvari garden party, from appetizers to appetized. Don't have your own topiary garden or even classy friends. That's okay. The food is great anyway. For more great recipes, the Guild Wars community has plenty of delicious offerings, so be sure to poke around online. Until next time, this has been A Taste of Tyria. I am Chef Jennifer Hale, and Amnon Berry Spritz out of here.